So doing a little follow-up video on the Fluminer T3. I got a couple good comments on the last video, and I'm trying to engage with the community as much as possible, just put some information out there. So last video, it was pretty much just like the initial like plug and play, like how does it work, why it kind of sucks for me, and how I've even seen that Altairtech on X did a pretty good breakdown on it. Even on their website, they're advertising it at a very reasonable, like real world, like what efficiency they saw. And it is a, at best case scenario, 17.5 watts per terahash, give or take. So that's like an Antminer S21. You can find those about the same price, brand new, as one of these Fluminer T3s. Of course, you have to run it on 240 volt, which is what I'm getting into next. So I do have a like home Bitcoin mining farm in my basement. So I do have 240 volt. I do all my own electrical work and whatnot, you know, take the risks and everything of doing that. I don't advise it. I'm not advising that at all, but I'm just saying I do it. So, you know, if you're at that willingness, if you want to take that kind of chance, you can do 240 volt in your house. Cool, great. I'm just gonna leave that at that. But as of right now, it's running behind me. I don't know how well you can see. I'll get a better close up, but I'm running a PDU. I've just taped double-sided tape to the side of my wall, and I've run my 240 volt up here to my living room, and I've Fluminer T3 running on 240 volt, and it is now no longer giving me PSU errors. I would say like PSU error, like high or something like that. It was something real generic, but in a short little bit of time, if you keep hitting refresh, you can see it would glitch and say like 30,000 watts consumed of power or something, then it would reset. And normal and efficient mode, so those are like your higher power settings. So of course Fluminer, they advertise that 110 to 240 volt or whatever it is, like it can run on anything. No, at least not from here in my experience and on the current version 1 firmware. No, it's not doing that at all. You can run it on silent mode, and that'll work on 110, 120 volt, is your typical outlet. And that seems to be about the maximum that power supply can handle, at least mine. Maybe I just bad luck, maybe I got a lemon, but anyways, so at least going over the comments here. One of the first ones, Italian Inc., I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but suggesting running on F2 poll. You were saying that you saw somebody else's video that was working really well. I've tried around a couple different polls, like via BTC I have an account with. I tried on that. I tried with Brains, which is kind of my go-to. I found that there's a little bit like lower error rate on via BTC, but I mean it was pretty minimal differences. I did not get to try F2 poll. I'm not trying to set up a bunch of accounts and whatnot, but I also got to try Cryptex. They have like a Quay mining pool if you guys are into that. You can earn a couple extra dollars, but you're also mining Quay, and you gotta wait 2 weeks before it even hits your wallet, but that's a whole separate subject. What else we got here? Yeah, of course, being the first one to buy a product, never a good idea. Yeah, anything you pre-order, you're taking a gamble for really only the company's benefit who's selling it to you. Let someone like Panda get one and review it first. Yeah, I definitely kind of jumped into this. It is what it is. You know, I at least want to put some information out there if anybody's on the fence on buying one of these things. Maybe this sways you one way or the other. Maybe this is a niche for somebody that is watching this, but for me, in my experience, I kind of feel like I pulled the short straw on it. Grenade Gamer, they advertise this unit as 120 to 240, but thinking maybe to maintain stability above the silent mode, run on 240 volt, 20 amp. Yes, so the original video, that was all on 110, 120 volt, just the typical house outlet. Now I'm on 240 volt, I'm seeing stability on higher power settings, but I'm not really seeing much more efficiency. We'll go over that here soon. Shambhala 67. I'm supposed to receive mine tomorrow, and honestly, I'm getting worried. All I've seen so far are videos and tweets complaining about it. Some even showing 2200 watts for only 120 terahash. Feels like we all got tricked. I'm really hoping they release updates to improve stability and efficiency. By the way, did you also measure the actual power draw at the wall? And can you tell me if it's any quieter than the older Bitmain units? Okay, so mine, you had the 2200 watt for 120 terahash. I just rebooted mine again. Now on the software, it's saying 2084 watts. On my PDU, 240 volt, it's showing about 115, 120 watts higher than that. So yeah, it's about 2200 watts. And unfortunately, I am going to flip the camera. Unfortunately, we were only seeing 100 terahash average, 102 real time, tons of error codes, 19 minutes in. So this thing should be completely synced up. We'll hop over to the PDU, and it's going to be even higher power draw. So yeah, at the PDU, it's going to flip back over to it, but 2200 watts, 240 volt. Yeah, this is, it's an Altair PDU. I trust this thing. It's going to be pretty dang accurate. So yeah, I'm not even seeing as high as what you were worried about, unfortunately. And just a little bit further in now, hour 16, the average hash rate's actually dropped, which is really sad. Power usage went down a little bit too, but I don't know what that efficiency would look like. Again, back over, and you can see, honestly, I mean, it's still about 120 watts off. But noise level, it's not too bad as you get away from it, further away from it. Same feeling here. Yeah, but anyways, as far as any kind of updates and whatnot, I haven't seen anything yet. I'm checking like every day, but it's only been a couple days. I keep hearing, like on X and everything, mostly like end users buying them and resellers, like Altair, they've been doing really good at being like transparent with the community and like what they're selling. Like I was saying, on their website, they tell you what their real world hash rate is and efficiency on it. They even said that they would go with a Canon Avalon Q over this unit, but as far as quieter, not really. I mean, I have a Bitmain L3 that I have Noctua fans on, and that thing's super quiet. Again, it really depends on temperature. But if you keep the fans at like 60 or 70% on that thing with the Noctua fans, it's really quiet, like you can't notice it. This thing, I wouldn't say it's obnoxious. The fan frequency, or like the tone, I guess you could say, isn't like super annoying, but you can definitely hear a lot of airflow going through it. I have it kind of set up in my living room, and it's a bit on the loud side. But yeah, not terrible. I think they were saying, seeing a lot of people saying it was like 65 decibel, give or take. I've been seeing some different numbers, but it seems to be a lot louder than the Avalon Q, so take that for what you will. Other point with it, thermal throttling. This thing, on startup, and I've been staring at miner logs and restarting it, rebooting it, trying a bunch of different combinations of things, but I found, actually the fan's ramping up right now, but I have found that if it's really cold on initial startup, and I mean like you gotta be ridiculously cold, like it's almost like you need to have it set up on a mining farm for it to really get its proper efficiency, because in this room that I'm in right now, it's 72-ish degrees, and that's even a little bit warm for it. It'll heat soak the room, so if I try to restart it, it's not going to hit as high of a frequency, but as the room heat soaks, it tends to consume more power to try to pull it, and then just losing chip efficiency. So yeah, if you want to use it as a space heater, I hope your house is super fucking cold if you want to get good efficiency. Like, that doesn't, I don't know, nothing about it really makes sense. There's also very little to adjust fan speed, clock speed. There's no overclocking stuff, although I'm going to show you guys something with that I'm not really advocating for, but it's just something that's there. There's, on the Fluminer L1s, there's a way to hit F12, inspect element, and go into the console, and you can copy and paste a string of code, and it'll give you some options on overclocking. It's kind of broken for the T3. I think it's a little bit of a different like software, just with how it's coded. But for me, it didn't work. I've tried to change clock speeds. It doesn't, but it does pop up a secret menu screen. We'll get into that. I'll show you that right now. So we hop into our normal Fluminer, and if we change from any screen, so it's just your IP/running, and we get all of our Chinese font. There's no way of translating this over here, but essentially it's saying like watt usage. We'll translate this in Google Translate, but yeah, current operating status, current 79 kilojoules per liter. I don't know what the hell that means, but voltage 26.4 thousand volts. Maybe somebody knows better than I do, but to me that just doesn't seem to make any sense. Yeah, our fan speeds seem to be accurate. I don't know why that'd be at 121%, but there it is. So we hop back over here, and this is all, by the way, credit to Mineshaft. He put out this video showing this way back in March. So I guess the story behind it is if you get a hold of Fluminer and they remote into your computer, this is what they're typing in this secret screen in order to change clock speed. I guess it's like a troubleshooting thing, but here we are. So anyways, if we copy and paste this, so we'll copy it here, do our inspect element, F12, and we get the console. So then we're just going to paste that in there like so, hit enter, and then boom, we get our extra. This is supposed to be for frequency. Now these are BM1370 chips, so there's no way that you could realistically hit 24 megahertz or 2400 megahertz. These things realistically run like 500, maybe 650. On my Antminer S21 Plus, just for reference here, it is a BM1370. It is a lower grade chip, but if we go to clock speeds, yeah, we're pushing 715, we'll say like 15 megahertz, but we're keeping this thing really cool. This is also probably specific to just this chipset, where it doesn't seem to have as high of output as like a S21 Pro or S21 XP chip with the same clock frequency, but there you have it. So I can change this to whatever number I want. We'll just say 650. I hit enter and we can see it does something. It's saying frequency equals 650 up on top. Now if I hit submit, this is basically asking me for core clock voltage, so I can't change that. It's a little bit broken on the T3, but on the L1 Pros, like on the video with Mineshaft, it did have a separate drop down whenever you paste that command line in. So we'll do it again. So it would have like a second bar where you could change voltage on the chipset, and that would be independent from the actual frequency here. That again doesn't really seem to make sense, those parameters. I would think if anything you'd be going under 500, but I think it's just a little bit broken. I don't know if it translated over, so yeah. Even with rebooting, I've tried different clock speeds. I've tried this a couple times. Even with rebooting or resetting, it doesn't seem to actually affect the miner at all. I'll hear the fan speeds ramp up a little bit, so it's taking some kind of command, but it doesn't seem to actually do anything. In summary, this thing's still pretty iffy. I would steer clear of it personally. Probably go for the Avalon Q. If I were to do it again, I probably would have just gotten that. But there's always fingers crossed. Maybe they'll drop a new firmware update, fixes some issues here. But as of now, still pretty inconclusive on what to do with this thing, how to make it any better. I'll try to stay as active as I can with comments and everything. I appreciate the comments and staying engaged with the community. So it's awesome. You guys are tossing me some comments. It's pretty cool. And yeah, I don't know.